In today's video, we're gonna have a little discussion about a certain shoe, or shoes for that matter, and why exactly I spent $3,000 on some carbon fiber for my feet. If you're one of the OG subscribers to this channel, you may remember that last summer, Sarah, James, and I took a little detour to Florida after Pan Am Champs to get fitted for custom shoes. So before we get any further in this video, let's go back in time just a little bit. Okay, Jimbo, entertain us. Tell us what's going on.
What?
Tell us what's going on.
What's going on is we're moving all our stuff. What else are we doing?
Then we're getting fitted today.
Yeah. We're excited.
Moldings are complete.
We just left David's house, got our feet molded for our custom shoes. We are super excited for this. This is the real reason we came to Florida, and it is done. It's a super easy process, but I'm really glad we got David to do it. I definitely would not trust myself to do it, and hopefully they're gonna be just perfect.
The gains are just gonna be ridiculous, and we'll see in 3 months when we're all going faster. You're gonna know why.
Oh my God, it's here. 2 weeks later, they went on a journey around Canada, but DHL is here. This has been a journey. This box right here went for a tour around Canada, but we have them. I've only seen pictures of these. Let's open them up. Here they are. 6 months of waiting. But my brand new custom shoes are here. Oh, they look good.
They made it! After
We-
calling DHL 90 times,
We
they
had to call
finally made
DHL
it. Every day.
every day for 2 weeks. But they made it, and they're
Wow.
beautiful. So, 6 months of waiting, but they have finally arrived. I gotta wait another week and a half before I can try them on the track since we're on Christmas break already, but they're here, and I'm excited. They're on! They fit like a glove. Signature red. Beautiful. They're definitely tight to get on, but once you get them past the ankle, they feel good. They're really tight around your ankles, so they are a bit difficult. There we go. They're in. And then we're back on boas, no more laces.
How are the new shoes?
They're great. I love them.
Do you feel faster?
I definitely do, for sure.
Was it worth the trip to Florida?
Even if we didn't get the shoes, it would have been worth the trip. You know, it was just so much fun with you guys. But
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree
shoes are
more.
bonus. Make sure the calf is flicked.
Day one with the new shoes. Avery got them all set up for me this morning. Matched my weld position. Got a first track session in on them today. A couple flying efforts. They are feeling so good so far, but they're a bit weird. It's interesting having such a close contact to the pedal. It's a very thin sole, so it's going to take a bit of getting used to. Also a little tighter on the toes from what I'm used to from the Bonds. So yeah, super interesting. Super excited to have them in my hands finally after a bit of a shipping delay. So a few more sessions this week and we'll drop some more thoughts later. So I guess after all of that, the biggest question you probably have is why? I've ridden Bonds for most of my career, and they're great shoes. They're stiff, they're tight, they feel good, but I never quite felt like they fit me properly. And when you get to a certain point in your career, it's kind of just time to fine-tune the little details and get some marginal gains. Based on all of my research about the other manufacturers in the world and the other shoemakers, I settled on Simmons because I simply think they're the best. Every kind of shoemaker has their own philosophy around shoes, and I just believe that David's was the best. And logistically, I think they also worked out quite well for us. A lot of the shoemakers are based in Europe. You are able to send your own molds to these manufacturers, but I guess I shouldn't call them manufacturers, they're all basically independent shoemakers, but you can send your own molds, but I just really didn't trust myself to make my own molds and didn't really know at the time who to get to do them. So I just felt way more comfortable if I'm spending that amount of money to just go get fitted by David himself. That way, he can just make the molds, he knows what he needs, and they're just done properly that way. These shoes are 100% custom made to me. They won't fit anyone else. They won't work for anyone else because they're molded specifically for my feet. So I've been on these shoes now for about 2 months. I raced nationals on them, I raced Adelaide Nations Cup on them, and I've been training them every single day. And they took some time to get used to, that's for sure. With the Bonds and the laces, you're able to just really crank on the laces and get them super tight on the top of your foot, whereas these shoes, really not the case. These shoes only tighten here on the bottom with a single boa. You can see on the... That's the only spot they tighten in. So it's not quite as tight on the top of your foot as I'm used to with the Bonds, and that took quite a bit of getting used to for me. I'm used to at the race start just really cranking down on my toes and getting them as tight as possible. With these ones, it's just not the case. With these ones, they also fit way tighter around the top here and around the ankle. It's all custom fitted to your foot. So there really is no movement of your foot, but there is a bit of space on top of your toes, which took some getting used to, and I think honestly I'm still getting used to that. One of the biggest things I noticed was with these shoes, they're like, if you can see, there's no insole in them, it's just carbon fiber on the bottom. So for the first few days, my feet were kind of sore. I got a couple cuts on them, just kind of adjusting to the carbon, but you feel so connected to your bike with these. Like, it is crazy how much you can feel the pedal right underneath your foot. It almost feels like it increases the response time as well from when you're transferring your power. I guess the first few weeks of getting into these shoes was a little bit difficult. They don't really open up that far here. You kind of have to squeeze your foot in a little bit and just get them through this hole, and then they just close down on top. So kind of breaking them in was a little bit scary. I couldn't really get them on the first day, as you saw, but so far I'm really happy with these shoes. Now, the gains that I've experienced with these shoes I think are very marginal. I did a little bit of power testing on them on the SRM, so a very controlled 6-second test. And with these shoes I did test higher power. With the Bonds I tested 2070, and with these shoes I tested 2090 watts. I believe these would have been a little bit higher compared to the Bonds, but I had a bit of a bad sprint. I didn't really accelerate that hard on the first stroke. So I think the test wasn't exactly perfect. I think there is more power in these than what the numbers are showing. I've seen some really good numbers on the track with these based on just the SRM. And one of my favorite things about these shoes overall, honestly, is just how comfortable they feel on your feet. They took a bit of getting used to in the beginning, but once they're on now, they feel like they're actually just my feet and the pedal. I don't feel like I have that extra layer like I did on the Bonds. There's no insole, very connected like I said. They feel like they're just tight on your feet without your feet going numb like they would with the Bonds when I had the laces really tight. So definitely, like, there's an added level of comfort I found with these. Not right away, but over time I've become very comfortable in these shoes, and I'm really glad to be just back on the BOA. It's super quick, on and off, and I love that my toes just don't go numb in these anymore. So overall, I guess you could say I am quite happy that I spent the money on these shoes. $3,000 for a pair of shoes was a lot to spend, but when you get to this level, like I said, marginal gains very much come into play, and these are a big part of those. Power transfer is everything in track sprinting, and if you could increase that just a little bit, it's going to make a difference in the long run. And that's ultimately why I chose to get Simmons shoes. At the end of the day, would I recommend these to the average person? And the answer is absolutely not. The gains you get with these are very marginal, and if you're not at the highest level of sprinting or track cycling per se, you're not going to get your money's worth out of these shoes. You'd be way better off spending your money on a stiff pair of road shoes or just Bonds. They'll do the trick just as well. It's a lot of money to put into these if you're not going to be using them every single day like I am, or competing on the world circuit, I guess you could say. Now, if you got a lot of money to burn, I guess these are something you might want to put some money into. They're fun to have. You can customize them as much as you want. David will color them and paint them and design them in any way you wish. He has some pretty funky designs. If you want to check out his Instagram, he's done some really, really cool things with these shoes. He says he's a 100% custom shop, so whatever you want, he will make it, which is pretty cool. So definitely overall would not recommend these to the average person. They are, like I said, a lot of money to spend on a pair of shoes, but if you want that extra bit of customization, full custom shoes, these are a pretty good answer. So if you've enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already. I appreciate all of you guys being here. It means a lot when you're following along on this journey with me. Let me know down in the comments below if you like the design that I picked. I chose just a little red band around the outside here, and not sure if the camera will pick it up, but there's a red carbon lace on the inside of the shoe here. Embedded into my sole. Red's always been my favorite color and kind of my go-to thing. I always wore red Bonds, and I kind of want to bring a little bit of that over to these new shoes. So that's why I chose the colors that I did. So let me know in the comments down below if you like them and if you think I've made the right design on these. So thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.